So yesterday I watched Nosferatu. I've never seen the movie before, but I'm familiar with its existence. And so it's disputed, to my understanding, it's disputed what the release date of this movie is. Some say March 4th, some say March 6th. I say let's meet in the middle. I watched the movie on March 5th. So this movie is 100 years old, folks. That's incredible. Lately, I've been trying to get more into classic movies, silent films, black and white movies, just old movies in general. I've been trying to get more into that lately. And so, I saw that this was the 100th anniversary of Nosferatu. So I'm like, all right, what's a better time to watch the movie? Very, very good movie. I just want to say, I haven't seen that many silent films. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen too many films that don't have, sound. I've probably only seen like maybe one or two before this one, but I was very into this movie. Now, again, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what this movie is based off of. It was like, apparently it's like about some vampire. I don't know. But either way, so in this movie, you've got some guy, his name is Orlok, right? And so he's like trying to make a deal, some sort of, he's trying to get some sort of, real estate, something going on. So someone goes over to his house, which just happens to be a castle, to sign some papers of some kind. And then this guy finds out, oh shit, Orlok's a goddamn freak. He's sleeping in a fucking coffin. This guy's a fucking freak show. But then there's like a sailboat for some reason. I was really high when I watched this, by the way. So there's like a sailboat for some reason. And there's rats on the boat. Orlok goes on the boat. And then, people hear that there's a plague. I think this movie was filmed during the Spanish flu outbreak, if I remember correctly, in Germany. So, people were very conscious of disease at that time. So anyway, people think that there's a plague going on in the town when Orlok goes there. Turns out it's Orlok being a fucking vampire and killing a bunch of motherfuckers. Right? So again, the great parts of this movie is the actor, I guess Max Schreck, I believe is their name. The guy that plays Orlok is fantastic. I mean, he really looks like a super villain. The first couple of times when you see Orlok walking around, oh my God, it's great. It's fantastic. It's a public domain movie, right? And so there's a lot of different versions that have like different soundtracks. I don't know. I watched one on YouTube. It was like a Blu-ray rip of some kind. It's hard to know what's an official soundtrack or whatever. But like the sound was really good, it was like, it was very fun to watch, and then the sound, like the music was getting, intense when Orlok was creeping up. I love the scene where like Orlok is like, waking up, but like, on his heel, right? So his whole body like flips. Like, it was great. I mean, the movie is great. The movie is just fantastic. I mean, if you're into horror at all, I would highly recommend you have to watch Nosferatu. If you're into older movies at all, highly recommend. Gotta watch Nosferatu. Again, the movie is fantastic. Like, again, if you are possibly into silent films, I would highly recommend it. Now, again, I was on a lot of drugs when I watched this movie, and it made it that much better. But yeah, so I don't really know what else to say about it. It's an experience. I mean, again, I've been trying to get more into older movies, silent movies, especially. And this is, it's a good gateway to it for sure. I think, I know it's 100 years old. I mean, like I kept thinking to myself, like, every person on screen right now is dead. Like, they're all dead and they didn't die of cancer. I mean, they might have, but they're all dead because it's old. I mean, like, unless there's maybe like a baby in the background of like one of the town scenes, there's like someone carrying a baby, maybe they could theoretically still be alive, but every single person in this movie is dead. Everyone that worked on the movie is dead. It's crazy. Another fun fact about this movie that I learned when looking into it yesterday was that apparently the movie was supposed to be destroyed. Again, it's based off of Bram Stoker's Dracula, and apparently the widow of Bram Stoker or something did not like Nosferatu at all, thought it was like a big deal that they ripped off, the book or whatever, and they went to court over it, and they decided that every copy of the film would be destroyed as punishment. And thankfully, that wasn't the case, because this movie is, in my opinion, a timepiece. I mean, you have to understand, like, in 1922, like, this is, it's a very old movie. It's 100 years old, right? So it's just like a historical relic, in its own right. And so thankfully there was a copy that survived up until this day. But think about how many like silent movies and old movies that are just destroyed and lost to time. I mean, there's a lot of things that are being destroyed and lost to time now in the digital era when things should be infinitely copy and pasted. I mean, look at like, stuff like the like Nintendo's like, shop or whatever, like the Xbox Live Arcade, stuff that's only hosted on servers, and because of copyright law, then they shut down the servers and then all the games are lost because no one's allowed to copy them onto their own machines, right? So copyright is still a problem. We're still losing things all the time. But I mean, just think about like, it's art. This is art. The fact that we're able in the year 2022 to watch a movie from 1922, that's a testament to just preservation and archiving, because any step of the way, someone could have destroyed the last copy of this movie and I wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be here listening to me talk about this. And so again, it's a historical timepiece. If you value human history in any capacity, I would definitely recommend watching the movie. But if you like horror, if you're even somewhat interested in horror at all or classic movies, you gotta watch it. Nosferatu, really, really good. It's definitely an experience. And it was great. I very much so enjoyed that. So I'm trying to get more into some older movies. I don't, anything black and white, I want to get into, but like even like, 20s and 30s and stuff, I'd be very interested in that. But I'm trying to compile a short list. And if anyone else has other recommendations, especially horror recommendations like monster stuff, definitely hit me up with that, because I'm very interested in expanding my terrain on that. I'm becoming kind of a cinephile recently. Over the last, year or two, I've been, getting more into, the art of cinema. And so, time to get into a little bit, I'm trying to get pretentious now. I gotta start reviewing these experimental films, maybe. But, anyway, there we go. Nosferatu. Also a good poster. Like, this is like one of the best scenes in the movie. Like, again, just just the acting, right? The physical, representation of Nosferatu Orlok, fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah, so there you go. How about 100-year-old movie review series? I mean, that can just be part of this. I mean, yeah, like we could I can start doing look up a list of movies that are going to be 100 years old and then watch them. I mean, yeah, if you want to help me compile a list, then yeah.